You must have heard about the power of silence. Silence does most of the work that words can't do. You must have observed yourself that a person who is silent often appears to be more mysterious and outspoken. But being silent or opening your mouth only when needed is as easy to say as it is difficult to do. Because there are often times when if you are silent, you feel that maybe the next person will consider your silence cowardly. But these are the times when being silent gives you power. In this video, there is a summary of the Power of Silence book. This book is written by Nicholas Dyatt and Robert Serra. This book will teach you that when you speak less and listen to people more, how do you get an upper hand on them? You will also learn what are those 10 reasons that make people who remain silent more successful. The author of this book says that there is a difference between being silent and being calm. You can say that every person who speaks is a good listener, but it is not necessary that he is calm, because someone's silence can also indicate that the next person is in pain and is being consumed by his own thoughts, which he can't even tell anyone. Maybe that's why they say that silence is often like a scream. 80% of females become silent when they are hurt a lot. In addition to this, the reason for someone's silence can also be that he is shy. The reason for silence can also be that there is a lack of confidence in the next person. In addition to this, if a person does not answer you after listening to you, then the reason for it can also be that the next person does not want to start a debate with you and wants to get rid of you. The reason for someone's silence can also be that he is bored after listening to you. Most people become silent because the next person is too talkative and he makes the whole conversation one-sided. That is, he is only interested in telling his stories, not in listening to you. Most people remain silent because they do not care about anyone's words, no matter what anyone says to them. So with these examples, Arthur wants to make it clear that we do not need such silence. We need that kind of silence that is intentional. Such silence that we deliberately adopt. Nowadays, our problem is that we get a lot of time to remain silent or think because of social media. As a result, many of us are technically living with our eyes closed. That is, we do not focus on our past mistakes and past incidents. As a result, we never learn from our mistakes. It must have happened to you many times that a person has argued with you, and you have not remembered any good argument during that argument. But when you came home and thought in silence, you remembered many other arguments. And you said in your heart that I wish I had said this to that person at that time, then I could have given him a massage during that argument. If you have argued with someone or someone has insulted you for some reason, then think about it in silence and notice that next time if you have to face such a situation, then what kind of arguments will you give and how will you handle this situation? When you sit like this once or twice and analyze the situation, then next time when someone argues with you, good arguments and answers will come to your mind. Because remember one thing, that there are very few new incidents in our life. Most of the time we have to face the same old situation. But since we never adopt the old situation, we get humiliated again in the same situation. And why does this happen? Because we do not practice intentional silence except for our useless activities. After this, Arthur tells us the story of his grandfather, that how his grandfather used to sit alone for an hour as soon as he got up in the morning. And during this time, he did not talk to anyone. Even when the rest of the people around the house were doing their own work, they still sat in silence. So Arthur says that we need this kind of intentional silence, where we can focus on things related to our life and our other ideas. After this, Arthur also tells us the way to practice this kind of intentional silence. He says that go and sit in any quiet place, whether it is your room or some other place. Turn off your mobile phone, computer, or tablet, etc. during this time. Do everything that can disturb you. When you sit down, then start focusing. In the beginning, you can focus on anything. Like you can try to feel your breath coming and going, or you can also feel the wind that touches your cheeks. When you get used to sitting in silence, then you start focusing on the circumstances and events of your life. When you do this, then slowly you will start understanding your life well. You will start understanding things that you have never noticed before. How do you practice for 21 days, and then you will see how much improvement has started in your life. You will start knowing your life and temperament from different but correct dimensions. Now let's know those 10 reasons why people who practice silence are more successful in their lives than those who live with their eyes closed. 1. People who practice silence can plan things better. And they don't just plan by sitting in a closed room. In fact, even during the actual conversation, they can take a little time to explain the matter well and then give an appropriate answer. Don't get the misconception that to practice silence, it is necessary to sit alone for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. In fact, you can also practice this silence during the conversation. Just speak a little slowly and patiently so that you get some time to answer the difficult question. People who practice silence are also good listeners, the benefit of which is that they listen to others and get as much information as possible. And they express this information in their thoughts. People who practice silence are also generally creative because they think of new ideas in loneliness. And these people use these new ideas in their real life and often surprise their friends with their unconventional and different opinions. Such people can choose their words well. Choosing good words means good communication, and there is a need for good communication everywhere, whether you do business or whether you want to make a place in someone's heart. Such people are good observers. That is, they can pay good attention to the things around them, and according to this, they make arrangements for their next steps. Such people who practice silence more and speak less. They only like good and good-intentioned people's company more. And these good people help them move forward in life. People who remain silent may not be the life of the parties, but these people know well about their preferences in life, and they are more focused on their goals. People who remain silent and peaceful are considered more trustworthy. Sensitive people or other business people like people who do not speak much, because the people who speak a lot have more chances that they will spill some secret from their mouth. Such people are more self-aware. That is, they know their preferences and hobbies well, and do not take any step after which they have to be ashamed. Such people also have more self-control. In difficult situations, they can control themselves well. Viewers, besides this, there are many diplomatic benefits of silence. As you may have noticed that if you are talking to someone and you remain silent for a long time, then somehow the next person continues to speak to fill the gap of that silence. And in such a situation, a lot of secrets are also told to you, which should not have been told.